So a couple years ago, I was in some middle schools, and basically here's what I observed. What was really cool was in most of the classes, it seemed like everything was growing out of the ceiling and coming out of the walls. There was some kind of paper mache thing that was hanging on a hanger, and there was heads of various people that were obviously like at one time balloons that kind of paper mache'd, and then there was diagrams and all sorts of different things that were like coming off of the walls. And then I went into the Bible classrooms, and everything was flat. Basically, what I noticed was that there was things hanging on the walls, but usually they were one-dimensional. Somebody had copied a Bible verse or colored a Bible verse and hung it on the wall. And there was just this noticeable difference between students who were maybe building a ship versus students who were writing on a piece of paper, students who were being creative and involving themselves in learning, and students who felt like maybe they were on the lower end of Bloom's taxonomy. And so one of our goals is that with the middle school Bible curriculum, we want to engage the whole student. The Bible should be fun. It should be an adventure to learn about the God who created the universe and who created us. And history and the mission of God and the secret of the golden thread, that's really what it's all about. What we're doing is we're inviting students to play a role in the class. And so right away on the first day of class, they're going to find out that the end assignment for this semester is going to be that their class is going to create a museum. And they're going to collect artifacts literally from around the world. And as they go through the text of Scripture, they're going to not only be learning the narrative, but they're also going to be learning apologetics and basic bibliology of how do we know that the Bible is true. And along the way, they're going to make several stops. And what is really cool about this is that if you're using the online interactive curriculum, you're actually going to go to these places right from within your classroom. Some of the best biblical artifacts in the world are located in these places. In fact, if you go to Chicago and fly into O'Hare Airport, just on the south side of the city is a place called the Oriental Museum. And in the Oriental Museum, you can observe everything from things from the palace of Xerxes to Sennacherib's prism to an actual brick made by the Israelites during the time of King Ramses. There's an altar from Megiddo where Solomon would have worshipped with his wives when they started straying from God. There's all sorts of amazing artifacts that you can actually look and see and touch. If you go to Paris, if you go to the Louvre, you can see the other half of what was King Sargon's palace. There's just huge different things that you can see that are actual artifacts from the time of the Bible. If you go to the London, if you go to the British Museum, you can see actual manuscripts. You can see things from basically what you're going to do is you are going to go to each one of these places. You're going to explore the pyramids in Giza. You're going to go around the world and kind of get your passport stamped, if you will. And the goal is for students to maybe not have to actually get on a real airplane, but to go to these places and find them for real. And imagine maybe in 3, 4, 5, 10 years for some of these students, the memories that they're going to make in this class if they can go to those real places and actually see or know where to look to see some of these things. So that's going to be part of it. But even that is still a little bit one-dimensional because they're still only interacting with a screen. So they're going to be making an online museum of their own that as they go to these different places and collect the artifacts, but they're also going to be making an actual, not just a virtual museum, but an actual museum. And so you are going to be creating things in each of these units. You're going to be creating things that will be put together, and then you will invite other classes, some of the younger grades, to come in and actually interact with you. When it comes time to study the book of Esther, Not only will students actually see artifacts from Esther's palace, but you're going to actually work through and create masks so that you can become the characters in the Purim, the skit that they celebrate every year. And then the students will have the opportunity to go and interact and to perform that for younger grade levels. And so the goal is that these students are going to be engaged, they're going to be active learning, there's going to be movement in the classroom, and that one of our prayers is that your class is going to be filled not only with learning, but these kind of a 3D atmosphere of excitement, that as you go through this course, you'll see the students not just engaged, but also transformed by what they learned.